Hello, my name is Michael Garrett, and this is PoppinCulture Movie Reviews. My guest today is comedian Queen Momo. You can see her in North Carolina, South Carolina. Great comedian. If she's in your city, make sure you check her out. Thank you so much for coming on to the movie review.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem. The movie you chose to review was Vampire Hunter D. This will be a 100% spoiler review. But before we spoil the movie, do you believe they should watch it?
Well, if you're old school anime lover like myself, then yes. Watch the movie.
Hey, we're friends in real life, and we're real cool. We don't watch this.
It's true.
So everything past this point is 100% spoilers. I'll let you kick it off, Queen.
So I chose this movie because when I was young,
Because I wouldn't choose it. That's why you chose.
It was the movie. It was my gateway drug into anime, you know? But I was like, you know what? I chose this movie based on a feeling I had when I was a child. So let me rewatch the movie. I rewatched the movie. I was like, oh, Lord. But we're going to go with it. I regret nothing.
So when you say child, how old were you when you saw it?
Oh, God. So this was back when I was living in Nebraska. So I had to been, when we moved to South Carolina was 10. So I had to been like 8, maybe.
Okay. No, this makes
Yeah.
sense now. That makes sense. All right.
When you're
cool.
8, that was the
Yeah.
coolest thing.
Yeah.
But when
Yeah.
you grow, you're like, oh my God, why?
Yeah, this all adds up now. I got you. Okay, 8. Yeah, I'm not even mad no more. 8. Yeah. yeah, 8. I can see how this tricked you at 8. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, back when sci-fi was sci-fi, not sci-fi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. This. Okay. All right. So we judging this off 8-year-old you or now?
Let's do now because it's funnier. Because
okay.
it's a horrible movie now.
She chose the movie and I watched it, and you know. I finish every movie. Anybody wants me to review a movie, I watch it no matter what. I make sure I watch it. Clear eye watch it. Even if I've seen it 100 times, I'll still watch it before just for the review. And I'm watching it, and I'm just like, man, this could be 30 minutes. Guys, if you like anime, it's different. Maybe if you don't know what anime, if you've never seen anime, maybe they'll get it. But for me, it was just like, man, they are really drawing these scenes out.
They really did. But you have to realize, this was done back in the 80s as well. So, back when the anime, it was really cool. They all had really big foreheads. And, and the pigtails was a thing.
You're not gonna blame this on the 80s. I can name 4 animes from the 80s. We got Lupin the Third.
That's true. That was such a good one.
We got Full Metal. I think this was a cash grab, man. So how'd you feel about the plot?
Okay, so when I was 8, I thought it was great. I rewatched it yesterday, and I was like, "Oh, this is horrible."
Would you like to tell them the plot?
Oh God! So basically, the plot is so this old vampire likes this human, and then there's a mixed vampire human person that goes and hunts other vampires, and this woman quickly early in the movie falls in love with somebody she doesn't know, which is D, and then you have this the guy with a lot of money is like, oh, I'm gonna make you mine type of thing. And then so here's the thing, this is where I think Vampire Hunter D kind of wins for me, is the hand. That's it. I just remember the talking hand, and that's why I was like, yes, the hand. He got his hand cut off.
Oh, I saw the movie.
Yeah, and it's just like that was it.
That's all it took.
It was like the hand started eating the dirt, and then wake up, D, wake up. And it was that's the funny part for me, was the hand. The hand made it worth it to watch all over again and realize how horrible of a movie this was. I should have picked something else.
No, it's fine. No. I just like that with friends. Like, if we weren't friends, best believe I would be over here like, the movie had good and bad. So no. Because with friends, I feel like I could just be honest. I watched it and I was just like, the first sequence, the way the movie opens is beautiful. Hand drawn. You can tell they put a lot of passion in it. And then it goes on for about 20 minutes.
Yeah, I fell asleep.
Me too. Okay. Me too. I watched this movie like I was watching like 30 minutes episodes. Like it took me 4 days to finish it because I was just I can't watch this in one sitting.
Yeah, I fell asleep on it after like the first 10 minutes. I was like, oh wait, I have to wake up and watch this again.
Yeah, and the whole time I'm watching, I'm like, because the action is long. Every fight scene just is very much like longer than it needs to be. But at the same time, I can definitely see how maybe Blade took a little bit from this movie and other things when it comes to like him being half vampire, half human.
And then like there's this one scene where Dee, like she's like out of the shower and she's like, I love you, Dee, and he's like trying to resist. So in an 8-year-old girl's head, she's like, oh my god, he really loves her. And in my adult self, I'm like, oh my god, she's trying to like ask him to like molest her, and this is not a child's movie.
Yeah, and how old is that character, by the way? Because it never says, and she doesn't look like the oldest character either.
Oh, they don't say. I don't remember how old she is. I assume she was an adolescent, so probably 17. They like their teenagers.
Yeah, I was just asking. I ain't got no nothing to follow up with.
I mean, you know, in Japan they have vending machines with used panties.
Yep, they do.
So
that's a real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look at Sailor Moon. Like Tuxedo Mask was like 14 years older than Usagi. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we can't say no. I've been told. Well, I haven't seen them in like person. But I've seen the little baggies. Apparently, people buy used condoms too.
Oh, that's disgusting. I did not know that.
Yeah, it scared the shit out of me, bro.
Oh my god, I'm today's years old knowing that. Wow.
Yeah, that scared the hell out of me. It still scared me. I was just looking at the guy like, man, I came for loop.
You know, I'm gonna Google this, right? The nerd in me was.
I mean, shoot. I mean, that's safer to Google. Somebody made a pegging joke. I Googled that. I saw everybody else laughing. I was like, man, this must be good. I Googled it. I was like, I shouldn't have Googled what pegging was.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was.
Mm.
All right, this took a hard left.
It didn't.
When it comes to the pacing of the movie, I thought, like I said, it could have made it shorter. How'd you feel about the pacing?
So, the younger me, when I was 8, awesome. The older me, I'm like, I completely agree. We're in a faster paced world now. Like our attention spans are slow. That's why I fell asleep on it multiple times. And I'm just like, good God. And then I watched it in English and I was just like, oh my God. I think it probably would have been worse if I watched it in Japanese, but maybe it would have caught my attention a little bit better the second time around.
Yeah, but, it was something to see, though. How'd you feel about the dialogue?
The dialogue, for the time it was written, I thought that it kind of reminded me of, you know, typical dialogues like with Eiko and Biko and things like that. But so it was kind of nostalgic that way. But as far as like the content and everything, I'm like, oh God, this is horrible. Like, really? People don't talk like that. Like,
yeah, stay like that. Like I said, we're good friends, but the whole time I just really like, man, she don't like me at all. I was like,
oh, I don't think I liked myself. So, you know, I sometimes I think I might be an emotional masochist. That if you are an emotional masochist, watch Vampire Hunter D.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If you want to know like what not to look for in anime,
watch Vampire Hunter D.
Yes.
Yeah.
When it comes to the music, I feel like it did well.
Yeah, I do too, because I was able to fall asleep to the music. That's a good sign. Kind of like Game of Thrones. I used to listen to that soundtrack to go to sleep. Yeah.
Yes, so. Exactly. Yeah, it does have the same touch and cheek. Yes. Who's your favorite character?
D.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's my favorite character.
Everybody else just felt like they had to be there.
Yeah, pretty much.
The villain, very one note. Very, very one note. Like he was.
Yeah.
Do you feel like he was in there too much?
I feel like I wish, like, if honest and truly, like the way that they took the movie, if maybe they should have built his character up and gave him a little bit more complexity, that would have been great. But I would be fine without him. Like, he could have just been in a picture somewhere and they talked about him. That would have been great. And just give me more D time. And that's another thing. Now that I'm older and I have more experience, like all the references to D, and I'm just like, this is just, my brain went in a whole nother direction.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, like, man, they could have definitely just gave it a vampire hunter. Like, I guess maybe they didn't want to get sued, but it was just like, it was very much like not a good name in my opinion, or maybe it doesn't translate well in America.
No, it's the same in his Vampire Hunter D.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just named him D.
Yeah. A board of grown men were like, yeah, we're going with that.
Yep. And then that long collar that he had. Now, one thing though that kind of stuck with me from Vampire Hunter D all throughout my childhood was the blood moon.
Yeah.
And how vampires don't like the virgins because they think the blood is bad. And I was like, oh, so they're superstitious, but they live for eternity? This is stupid.
Yeah.
How are you going to be superstitious? Not one vampire tried. Not one be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to live forever anyway.
Yeah.
But the blood moon, no.
That's true. I tell you one thing. Ain't that many vampires in South Carolina. If that's all it takes, you know how we dealt with mass. Like, oh, yeah, we're going to try it. But so 1 through 10, what would you give this movie?
Is 1 bad?
I mean, yeah.
Oh, then I would give it a 0.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely. It's not that great.
All right. I think we both can answer this, but it's the question. Do you believe that this movie will become a part of pop culture?
You had to Google hard for this movie. It's definitely not a part of pop culture.
I watched this on YouTube, believe it or not.
Me too.
Yeah,
I couldn't find it anywhere anymore.
Yeah. I was like, Crunchyroll was like, oh, not over here.
Yeah, no. Crunchyroll, nowhere I could find it. I had to find it on YouTube as well.
Yeah. And not a lot of views either. Like,
nope. Now I'm curious if my other animes that I used to watch, like Bastard and all that good stuff that I thought was good when I was young, is horrible now.
It's probably good.
Yeah.
I'm lying. Out of this movie, I can't give you the benefit of the doubt. I can't.
Please don't judge me as far as like my taste in anime based off of this one movie. Please don't judge me.
But it's cool. But thank you so much for coming on to the movie review. Is there anything you'd like to say to your fans? And please tell them where they can follow you.
I like to say to my fans, arigatou gozaimasu. You can follow me on social media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Not really. I'm trying. I'm old. And, of course, the TikTok.
And everything is Queen Momo.
Everything is truly Queen Momo. There's a lot of Queen Momos out there. And I'm not the Momo that tries to tell people to do bad things to themselves. I'm not that Momo. No, not that Momo.
Everybody stay away from that one.
Yes.
I had no idea, but truly Queen Momo. All right, guys, please make sure you follow her at Truly Queen Momo. Thank you, guys. Thank you again for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for listening, and have an amazing day.